quirk. And again Curry, and now has gone forwards with Stewart and Leicester with loose ball. Defence out of position momentarily, making the most of that. Pollard, his kick looking for Hassell-Collins. Brilliant from Hassell-Collins. Hit away. He's got a lot of shirts to beat. One of them is Ford. Stands him up, scores. Welford Road goes bonkers.
But how about Pollard? Late decision, shapes his body, sticks it on a sixpence. And then Hassell-Collins uses the afterburners and then toys with George Ford. A little show. He knows he's got the gas if he can just...
Cup. So prodigious is the back. Speaking of talent, Janssen van Rensburg finding Ibitoye, two of the most dangerous athletes in the Premiership, in glorious, glossy, galloping tandem.
Wow! There is no way this should happen, but that offload, the ability to know where your support is coming from, and that footwork is filth, utter filth from Gabriel Ibitoye. This game has turned on its head.
I didn't see anything apart from a load of pushing.
Harvey Skinner just done on a sixpence.
Seven.
Big ball carrier, low centre of gravity, and then the pass is to release. Stewart halfway through, fully through goes Hassell-Collins.
The threat of Kata early, but no one's on his inside. Luatua gets up from the scrum, he's slow to react, still involved in that pushing contest. That gives them the initial yardage and they come back to this side. Ben Youngs holds on to it, which holds that guard defence in and around the breakdown. They preserve the space on the outside, and Hassell-Collins still takes some finishing. It's fair to say Hassell-Collins didn't quite hit his stride when he first joined Leicester from Irish, but boy, is he in try-scoring form now. Desperation for Harlequins here. They're clinging on by their fingertips. Santi Grondona. One more charge into the Quins' wall. Batley, McGinty, Williams, Ibitoye waiting. Ibitoye scoring. And eventually, Harlequins run out of gas and run out of numbers, and Ibitoye has one of the easiest walk-ins that he'll ever have.
Just under 2 minutes left here at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road. 2 minutes left of the Newcastle Falcons season. But the Tigers will be playing next week as Ollie Hassell-Collins, he's broken through and got his score. Be all important in his personal battle with Gabriel Ibitoye.
We can see him on the charge round the back, just out of the shot. He knows exactly where the space is going to appear, and when that ball goes into his hands, there is not a chance in hell he is passing it. And the backs is Ibitoye. Bristol need a spark. Not that sort of spark. Well, maybe that sort of spark. It's Randall who's racing clear here. Ibitoye to his left, times the pass. Cuts back infield, one-handed, oh, doesn't need the offload, he'll go himself. There it is, an extraordinary score. It might just be what Bristol needs. It began with just about the worst chip you've ever seen in your life.
And Ibitoye thought, I'll have a step inside, I'll offload. No, I'll just pivot around and another step, there we go.
And he thumps it long. Now then, Ibitoye, plenty of space in front of him. Crackle of expectation around Ashton Gate. Oh dear, what's that all about? That's crazy, that's madness. And it's an absolute gift for Ollie Hassell-Collins. And a madcap succession of phases ends with a Tigers try under the post.
I'm thinking of the Rich Lane example in the same field position. He puts boot to ball. Compared to that, now Bristol have to stay true to themselves and the way they play. And Ibitoye is probably one of the best counter-attackers in the league. But they're not numbers up in this situation at all. And it doesn't look like a good position to throw that pass. Look, I'm speaking from a position I could never do the skill Ibitoye can do.
True, and
you might have to just adapt slightly how you set up your back three. Batley with line-out ball for Bristol, and here goes Ibitoye. Doesn't need much space, heading for the try line. The power and the momentum, and the Bears striking in the second minute of the evening. So much power. The speed off the line, a little bit of a disconnect maybe between the tail gunner at the line out and the first defender. I think it was Freddie Thomas, and Thomas just gets past in front of that tail gunner, and that means that as he holds and goes through the tackle, the outside of the line is dog-legged and given the slight gap for that man to come through.
Van Portfleet, Hayes, Pollard, Kelly, a little bit of room here for Hassell-Collins, a lot of work to do, he's done brilliantly. Oh, Hassell-Collins, odds against when he took that ball.
And that creates the space on the outside. Eventually they get round. Ollie Hassell-Collins has so much to do, drops that shoulder, survives the first tackle from Hathaway, and then as Carreras comes across, he's already got a bit more momentum and he can use a little bit of his footwork. Gets inside him too easily though.
Options here for Randall, Williams, McGinty, that's beautiful. Bates to Ibitoye, 2 more steps, 1 more score.
Tilt, watch them, both of them at full tilt. Bates is trying to get there, and then he just appears out of the shadows and rounds the corner.
They'll want to build some momentum into that semi-final. They'll put out a strong side. They'll look to get some patterns going.
Leicester free kick, Van Portfleet, beyond Pollard to Woodward. Oh, Hassell-Collins, brilliant. 1, 2, 3, bang.
Misses out Pollard. Pollard does really well not to bite at it.
Tries good. Thanks, bro.
And Hassell-Collins just has to finish. Brilliant from Woodward as well. The speed to transfer.
Dangerous one. Murley, full steam here. Oh, timed it to perfection. What a tackle that was from Caden Murley. Bristol have done very well to secure the ball off the back of that challenge. And Marmion, show and go. Ibitoye alongside him, running a nice line, and he will streak clear. Bristol striking twice inside only 3 minutes. Marmion, absolutely electric.
We mentioned about Will Evans' engine. It's him on that right-hand side guard position, and he just can't recover. The forwards are out on their feet. The last scrum was a gentleman's agreement, no one pushing. The game has been so fast.
What's going on?
And when you've got players with the instinctive attacking ability that some of these Bristol lads have, and Harlequins to be fair, this isn't going to be the last try we're going to see tonight. Game has opened up massively. Ibitoye back on the inside. He knows as soon as he gets that pass from Marmion.
Ollie Chesham has a look at the ball, has a look at the try line, back with the ball, gives it a go. Leicester within 1 meaty thrust of the lead again. Kelly, Pollard, Radwan to Hassell-Collins. Leicester with the advantage. Hassell-Collins!
Forward, he's in a rich vein of form. This is Curry, doesn't hold on to it. They've just made that change. Maybe not expecting to have to throw it over the top to him. And then Radwan doesn't bite at the ball, knowing he's going to get taken. And it just opens up like the Red Sea. And Hassell-Collins uses his footwork. Brilliant acceleration. Darts through between the 2 defenders and finishes it off.
Harding, who's rustling for it now and just helping out at the breakdown, talking in the week about how they've taken the handbrake off. They've given themselves permission to lose, so long as they do it the Bears way. And this is the Bears way. Heads up rugby from McGinty. It lands right in the arms of Gabe Ibitoye.
You have a view of that pass as I was attracted. No, I wasn't
having a look now, mate.
We're going to head up to the TMO and check that everything is all right. We score to boot.
AJ McGinty just looking up, just put it in space, let the wheels get hold of it.
He had defenders to beat, but that is what Radwan does. Pollard, oh, and Hayes went backwards, flipped backwards by Montoya brilliantly, and then a charging Smith. Hassell-Collins, 1 step, 2 steps, and the try.
Thoughts on that?
And just whether that goes forward, but if it doesn't, Montoya's little tap on, Nicky Smith holds, patient, drags in Marcus Smith, uses the pace and the footwork
that for you, Woody. Just
of Hassell-Collins.
Well scragged by Woodburn. so at home in that outside centre defensive berth, and now Randall always alert to opportunity, and Ibitoye will have his hat-trick in what has been the most topsy-turvy and entrancing of affairs.
Line he takes here. OK, he breaks in field, but look, he's come back towards the 5-metre line. That leaves the space on the outside for Ibitoye.
The good thing about running that line is you can tend to pick the gap. You're sort of drifting across the field back towards the ball, but then you can straighten into a gap when you're on your own line.
And then Leicester get it back, and this is Catcher, and he pops it up! Hassell-Collins!
Knowing that there must be space in his blind spot over his shoulder, so he almost throws this without looking out there. He knows that all those white shirts would have had to concertina.
Starting 6 against Saracens, back in the second row tonight. Harding nicely away, and then McGinty and Rabalvao and Ibitoye! He doesn't need the door to be that wide.
The reward, you thought they messed up their line-up. This is when you thought Lichfield might have knocked it on. They didn't. You could hear from the referees, right, they didn't think that Bristol had knocked anything onto it. It was play on. But that was a lovely delayed pass from Fitzhardy. He took it right to the defensive line, flicked it out the back. Ibitoye just held his width, and one of the easier finishes that he's had this season. But you thought Saints that Kemeny competed so well. You thought they made another set-piece error.
Decisions right at the last minute. He allies that with a good amount of power, a little bit of footwork as well. Doesn't commit fully to driving through when it's not on, which means he can retain his balance and stay on his feet longer than most.
Well, this might work for Hassell-Collins, and Hassell-Collins with the bouncing ball. And all of a sudden, the match that's burst to life.
It's exactly what he does here. Sees the space, little kick through. Maybe you could say the kick wasn't bang on the money, but it causes chaos, and that's the effect the little kick has through. It just puts doubt in people's minds. You can catch a shin like it did, and you get a try off the back of it. Great play from Woodward.
Great field position this. Randall has a little go himself. Bailey chasing the ball. Van Rensburg.
Chest on chest, no head on head, on the ball.
Carl Dixon happy the challenge was legal. The Bears are beginning to tick. This is Revoivo, great acceleration. Brilliant footwork as well, out of the back. That is insane! Ibitoye!
Pass on the inside, nice pass on the back. The backs reload really well. Revoivo gets through. That off him, that's outrageous. Out the back, the accuracy to do that. It's high risk, but maybe it's not when you're playing Revoivo. Oh my gosh, he's not even looking.
It's insane.
That's incredible.
Silly. It's so silly.
Yeah, just telling you about he's down. He's got his ankle.
Ibitoye's got his hands on his head. I mean, where?
What? He's got one hand on the ground, he's got 2 knees on the ground. He's not looking, and he's flung it round the back.
Stay down.
It's the bludgeoning approach from Leicester. George Martin, one of the biggest of all. He makes good headway. Chesham. Still Falcons cling on. Van Poortvliet, now they move it. Woodward, Shilcock, Hassell-Collins, and he's careful how he puts this one down.
And when the call comes in, Woodward hovering in, releases the ball, and then Shilcock throws that longer pass. And Hassell-Collins makes sure he dives rather than just trying to put it down as he did last week.
Ball's there.
Dunn waits. Now away to the left, and now Lane, and now the 6th, and Ibitoye. It's almost beyond words.
Passing ability, the speed of delivery is what beats Will Wand on that outside arc. Crisp through the hands, invite Leicester out. They're desperate to get that line speed on. Don't take away any of the meters on the outside. Just get it through the hands as quickly as possible.
Kelly, who started it, Pollard, Stewart, Hassell-Collins.
A couple of hit-ups from the forwards, and then they hold defenders. Lovely transfer of the ball from Stewart, and it's a walk-in in the corner.
Free kick from the scrum for Bristol, and there's space here for Ibitoye. This for the bonus. In he flies.
Looking really good, so what two teams of the chasing pack are going to get through? And
they can use this now, Leicester.
Tosha lurking, feeds it back. Kata now holds it there. Pollard, some width. And now a score for Hassell-Collins.
Lovely deception from Kelly. Pollard out the back. He's got...
Stopped short. Good work from Singer and de Glanville, but still the threat exists. Williams. In goes Singer again, and Ibitoye reaches out. Waits for the moment to come in and make that shot. They think they got a chance of maybe turning the ball over, but it's heads-up rugby. Ibitoye.
If you don't want to miss any of the Gallagher Premiership Rugby action, subscribe now, like this video, because it helps the algorithm. Leave a comment if you insist, and we'll see you next time.